Hey everyone, this is What's Your Fox Gaming here. I'd like to show you a new tanky build that I've come up with today. I've really been enjoying playing this lately as I found that I've been getting more and more frustrated by the abundance of skill build users in Conflict and the Dark Zone. And this build is quite a good way to essentially stay alive whilst coming up against those sort of people. So the main priority of this build is combining high armor with a lot of hazard protection and some extra weapon damage thrown there as well. I've also stacked quite a large amount of incoming repairs here, which works with a couple of the talents on this build. So I'll go through it in the usual format and then I'll demonstrate it in Conflict. Now, ideally, I do want to swap. I haven't got one on me at the moment, but I do really want to swap out this Seska for a 5th blue. I feel like this build just will be better with more armor. But I quite like the 4-2 combo. I think it's a really nice spot in the current meta where TTK is so low and you can get melted very quickly. So I run 2 PCL here, which is really good because you get the 10% hazard protection and the weapon damage as well. I really like that. And the Fenris chest piece here gives me 10% assault rifle damage, which is predominantly what I use on this build. So that's 15% assault rifle damage essentially, and that works really well. I'm probably going to re-roll this to hazard protection. Actually, I'm going to do that real quick now. But yeah, so I use the 2 PCL there for the weapon damage and the hazard protection. I use the 2 Seska for the critical hit chance and the hazard protection. And again, I've rolled hazard protection onto both of these pieces, as you can see. So that works really well. I'm running perfect clutch here, which I know isn't meta at the moment, but I really like it with this build. If you don't know, there's 2 paragraphs to this perfect clutch talent. The top paragraph states that if you're below 20% armor, critical hits repair 2.5% of missing armor. That does work in all scenarios. Dark Zone, Conflict, PvE. Works anywhere. You can shoot hives out and it still works. The bottom part does not work in any circumstance. PvE, PvP, it doesn't work. When they patch this, clutch is going to become really strong because it will just allow you to heal all of your armor up between 4 and 10 seconds depending on your red core attributes. So don't worry about that. But the 20%, basically if you're being shot and you're critting all of the time, it allows you to sort of maintain up to that 20% armor. And it does stack with incoming repairs. So it will actually boost, I think mine's closer to 4% missing armor per crit. It won't go over the 20%, but I can hold there a lot easier. And short of a shotgun or an M1A, it's quite easy for me to kind of sustain damage. I run an RNK as my final piece here as well, which again this has hazard protection. Not the best one, this is actually a crafted one. It's pretty terrible to be fair, but I don't feel that I've got a better one at the moment. But yeah, you know, I've got a bit of armor regen in there which stacks with my incoming repairs and of course the hazard protection, which I was more fussed about. Again, I'll probably end up swapping this out maybe for an RNK here. If I get one that has good rolls, I can stick a blue on and then just have a Seska down here and leave it as red. I don't know, we'll see what happens. So yeah, I'm going to re-roll these actually to critical hit the critical hit damage off of those now. The important thing with this build isn't critical hit damage. That's irrelevant. If you're sat at 70-80% critical hit damage, don't worry about it. Obviously, the more damage you can do, the better, but it is by no means a necessity to have really high critical hit damage. What you want is very high critical hit chance, which is super easy to get, particularly if your watch level is as high as mine. The most important thing here is your hazard protection. So if you look into my stats, currently sat at 1.42 million armor, 3,000 armor regen, which is neither here nor there, that's irrelevant. Health on kill, again, that just comes from firewall, that's totally irrelevant. So the bits that I'm most interested in here are the 75.3% hazard protection and the 53.7% incoming repairs. So the 53% of incoming repairs does stack with Unbreakable. In PvP, it's 50%. Now I've got an additional 50-odd% incoming repairs. That doesn't mean that this goes up to 100%, it's 50% of the 50%, so essentially an extra 25%. So I end up getting just over 75% of my total armor back whenever Unbreakable procs, which is really nice. I'm also getting a nice damage buff to my weapon. My weapon of choice here is a Preservation auto rifle. Now, I'm not really a fan of the G36, it's just the best one that I have because I wanted to roll it with critical hit chance to sort of make up the distance there. I'm currently sat at 60%, so I've just sort of rolled mostly critical hit chance mods on here. Actually, I wonder if I can afford to lose that. Let me just see. 56. No. See, even if you've got to use a mod to take you up 2 or 3%, do it. It's totally worth having your critical hit chance at exactly 60%, even if it's more like 62 or 63%. Just do it, because clutch relies on you critting as much as humanly possible. But yeah, the reason I went for the G36 is this roll was too good not to use. Now, preservation also stacks with incoming repairs. So if you look here, killing an enemy repairs 10% armor over 5 seconds. Headshot kills improve this repair by an additional 10%. So 20% on a headshot kill, but that's going to be buffed to more like 30% because of my incoming repairs. So in the heat of battle, I can maintain my health at around about 20% as long as I'm constantly firing. And I've got the Eagle Bearer there, which naturally has high critical hit chance anyway, to swap out to if needed. But if I get a kill with... let's do a little bit more there. There we go. So, if I do this... Now watch that health fly up. Yeah, pretty good. So that is... I know it shows I'm out of combat, but it's obviously not going any further, so I'm definitely within combat there. So that's gone up by quite a lot just from a headshot kill. Body shot kill. There we go. So that's just free health that I'm getting. And if I'm within that 20%, it's going to... which is actually about the equivalent of one segment here, so it's about 250k health. That's going to hold me at that point as well. So this build works really well with that. I'm running Firewall at the moment. To be fair, I'd probably run this with Gunner. The only reason that I'm not is that I need to finish unlocking my Firewall specialisation on my ult as I use it for the raid. And I haven't done that yet. But Gunner is better here because it gives you... Where are we? There we go. 10% armour on kill. So in the Dark Zone in particular, this is a super efficient way to top up your health just by killing ads. And of course that also stacks. That'll be more like 15% based on my incoming repairs. So yeah, the whole point of this build isn't to do a huge amount of damage, it's just to be in the front line, to tank a lot of damage, and to heal a lot of self-heals without use of skills. Skills I'd recommend are the shield, just because on 4 armor core, your shield is like several million, it's incredibly tanky. And then the EMP jammer for conflicts, and you want to use the decoy for the Dark Zone. Sorry, I forgot what words were for a second there. So yeah, the decoy in Dark Zone is the best in slot skill. It's just too good not to use. But the combination of incoming repairs, hazard protection, perfect clutch, and a preservation auto rifle with the 5% weapon damage from Yao and the 10% from Fenris just means this build can actually do quite a lot of damage, but it also can sustain quite a lot of damage. And hopefully I'll be able to prove that in this game. If you're playing with your clan mates, you just want to make sure that they're always stood behind you. You know, you want to be in the front line, so you don't want to be sat back. We're no sit back Sallies in this team. So yeah, you want to be getting in the action as much as possible. Get your shield out. It's your job to get in range of mortar turrets, hives, seekers, and EMP them, because you can tank all of that with the 75% incoming repairs that I have. So it's your job to do all of that, and that way that your team that sit in the back, that are maybe skill builders or rifle builds themselves that have low armor, they can then afford to push you know, a bit more safely. So it's a really good sort of team support role, but also can actually rack up some pretty big kills as well. Now I can't wait for all of that to blow up in my face in this game, which I'm sure it will, but you know, the joys of solo queuing in conflict, you never know what's going to happen with your team or the opposition. But yeah, I really enjoy this build. I like it. It's good enough weapon damage, but I just love the fact that I can tank so many status effects. Now in TU10, this build will be less viable. I think clutch is going to be strong in TU10. I think hazard protection less so, but I can, as you saw, I can reroll a lot of these pieces anyway. You know, hazards or status effects are getting a 75% damage nerf in TU10, as per the PTS, which as it stands is at part 2. So if I ran 3-piece Yol here, that pulse would have lasted a lot less, but I don't know, I feel like it's either 0% or 100% with pulse. If you're not at 100%, I don't even worry about it, because they can still see where you are for a small period of time. They are absolutely going to be coming up behind us here, aren't they?
Rogue explosive seeker mine detected.
Do the old razzle dazzle bamboozle here. Oh, did I just see someone there, or did I imagine that?
Rogue hive detected. Rogue stinger hive detected.
if that hype's still there, but I've EMP'd. Yep, nice.
Agent down.
Wow, that's super awesome accuracy from me there.
Rogue artillery turret detected.
So watch that health bar go up now. Look at that. Just free health and he's not even killed. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this build. Nice tankiness. And clutch isn't the best talent. But, you know. What? Wait, what?
Serious trauma.
Oh, come
detected.
on, man. How are they up there? My team was up there. I
Agent
thought that was
out
my
of
teammate
option.
hitting me because the first one was on me, but it didn't actually do any damage.
Boost.
I'm not sure
about
why
to
my team aren't up
activate.
there anymore, why they've let a skill builder take the high ground. But again, this is one of the perils of solo queuing. They should not have left that high ground.
Boost now active.
Like, we knew there were skill builders as well, because I've had nothing but seekers. But never mind.
Allies are
Go out there
acquiring the
and
boost.
be a pain.
Allies have acquired the
See this
boost.
guy right here? Got armor on, so I'm just going to push this.
Rogue explosive seeker mine detected.
Unlucky, brother. That's what you get for being a skill build camper. Ooh, this is a bad spot. Reservation kicking in, time to push forward. Oh, nice, my teammate already killed him. Good job, buddy. You love to see it. Now, I like to hide in cover, not right at the edge here. I can't peek shoot, but I can still see around the corner whilst they can't. Although it looks like they're all coming this way. Oh, here they are. Nope, never mind. Oh, well, I totally just robbed that kill. Sorry, boys.
Rogue stinger hive
Look at that. All my health back straight away just to get the kill. It's, yeah, this build is awesome, man. So good. So good. Unlucky, brother. Loads of health regen. It's beautiful. Who needs armor regen? Who needs healing skills? You see how little that fire lasted there as well? Broke off almost immediately.
I'm sending you a specialization supply drop.
So that's the problem with running
Defender
20
drone
sensitivity.
detected.
When you set on fire, you start going crazy, and I've not quite adapted to that yet. But because the fire lasts for such a small period of time on this build, it is irrelevant.
Rogue explosive seeker mine detected.
I know there's a guy to my right, but I'm doing it anyway.
If the enemy doesn't turn this around,
Oh,
they'll be pulled out.
mad plays. There's a guy right here. Nope, there's not any more. They're going to peek. Oh, he did peek. That was silly.
Agent down.
So look how fast that bleed wore off there. That was crazy fast. Wait. Where did he run to? Oh, I see you. I see you. Nice.
Supply drop is being claimed by the enemy.
Yeah,
The
I've honestly
specialization
gotten so
supply drop
bored
has
of
been claimed by the enemy.
status effects that I've completely binned off my status build. It's not even in my loadout anymore. Okay, I call that a status build. That's not a status build. It's got survivalist on. But my old status build from my first video, there's skill tier 6 one. Gone. Don't use it anymore. It's too strong and not in a good way. Why is this guy just running in a straight line? That's madness.
Serious trauma detected.
Got shot around a corner there. That's not fair. I was
Agent
very comfortably
incapacitated.
around that corner.
Nobody's pulling out. The fight goes on. The fight is halfway done. There are no more rogue reinforcements. Eliminate whoever's left.
Is this guy going to pull my res? Come on, buddy. Res, no, don't run away. What are you doing? Ah, as if they've left me, man. That's not cool. Yeah, never leave your teammates. Never do that. That's terrible. They're running into a 3v4. Oh, he's come back. Oh, I'm going to save you. Good lad.
An agent needs assistance.
I guess if he's not got his headset on, he probably can't hear. So we'll forgive him for that. But yeah, they're about to run into a 3v. Oh, I suppose it would have only been 3v2.
Boost.
Okay, I suppose I
About to
can't
come
blame them for that.
online.
But my mantra is never leave a
Rogue
man behind,
explosive seeker mine detected.
even if that man is terrible.
Rogue artillery turret detected. Boost online.
I'm going to be a naughty boy here and just run straight in.
Immediate medical assistance.
What on earth? I've never died so quick in my life. That must have been a diamondback. That must have been a diamondback. There's no way he could have killed me there, even with an M1A in one shot like that. In fact, I didn't even proc my unbreakable.
Boost is being taken by allies.
Strange.
You won.
But yeah, so that's the
Well
build for you. The main strengths of this build that I really like is the fact that when you're set on fire, which is all the time at the moment, versus those stupid firewall armor break burns, it lasts for a second, and the same for bleed as well. So it's really tanky against that kind of loadout, which is pretty much everyone. And you know, perfect clutch is a little bit slept on. It is good. It's not as good as versatile or any sort of damage talent, because for the most part you want to run a heal talent or a sustain talent on your chest, and a heal on your back and a damage on your backpack. This build has no damage. It's all about sustainability. So admittedly it plays better in a group, but that's the point. And to be fair, I just got 10 kills, which is more or the same as the rest of my team combined. So clearly, being alive more equates to more damage and more kills. So that's something to think about. You don't need to run higher red builds to do big damage. Just being alive all of the time means that you inherently do more damage. I mean, we went up against a very well organised team. I'm guessing they're probably all solo. But then I'm solo queuing as well, so you just got to play your build to its strengths, and hopefully I've advertised that one. So we'll call the video quits there, but give us a like and a subscribe if you like the content, and leave me any comments if you have any suggestions for the build.